Did you know that customer access to the DeBerry SunRail station from any point in Volusia County is simple and easy thanks to Votran, the county's public transit system? Hi, and welcome to Volusia Magazine. I'm Amber Patterson. On today's show, we'll cover that and find out about National Wildfire Community Preparedness Day. Then later on in the show, Community Information Director Dave Byron and Connie Bernal, manager for the UCF Business Incubator at DBIA, will be in the studio for an update on the Business Incubator. Those segments, news, and more coming right up on Volusia Magazine. Three local, state, and federal agencies recently joined forces to promote wildfire awareness on National Wildfire Community Preparedness Day. Firefighters from Volusia County Fire Services, the Florida Forest Service, and U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service distributed safety information to hundreds of homes in at-risk communities near the Lake Woodruff National Wildlife Refuge. Spring and early summer are the most active times for wildfires in Florida. All it takes is some dried vegetation, some strong winds, and a spark from a campfire or a bolt of lightning to ignite a wildfire. Homeowners need to be prepared if a wildfire threatens their home.
The springtime is a great time to do your cleanup, and the reason being the foliage hasn't appeared on all the trees and the vegetation that's growing. So this would be a great time to trim back those, and that'll reduce the volume of refuse that you would have, which would be flammable anyway.
Firefighters also advise homeowners to eliminate flammable vegetation that touches the home and thin out trees and shrubs so there is 10 to 15 feet between the tree crowns. Prune tree limbs to a height of 6 to 10 feet. Mulch is highly flammable and homeowners may want to replace it with gravel or rock. Since the summer of 1998, when wildfires burned 137,000 acres across the county, firefighters have taken steps to educate homeowners, improve response through collaboration, and reduce threats through prescribed burns.
What we've done is we've embraced a program called Ready, Set, Go. It's a national campaign, and it is an outreach program to educate the homeowners on what they can do to be fire-wise relative to the wildland urban interface. And so much of Volusia County is green and looks beautiful, but there's a danger there. So the best thing we can do is help educate folks of those dangers. And that's, again, keeping 30 feet perimeter around your property, clearing up any of the ladder fuels that may be there, limbs hanging over the house and things like that. But it's general knowledge that we've been advocating for a while.
Last year, wildfires burned 2,438 acres in Volusia County. For more fire safety tips, you can visit volusia.org/fireservices. The nation's top lifeguards will compete in Volusia County in August 2015 and 2017 when Volusia County Beaches hosts the National Lifeguard Championships. With a nod toward Volusia County's national reputation for beach safety excellence, the U.S. Life Saving Association selected Volusia County as the site for the prestigious competitions.
We're excited about that. This is going to bring about 2,000 competitors. They're some of the country's top competitors that will actually come here to Daytona Beach and take use of the hotels and the restaurants and patronize our business people here. They'll bring their families along with them, and like I said, they'll make purchases in our county, which is great for the economy. In addition to that, we'll have the opportunity to show off our beach. We'll have the opportunity to show our operation and the wonderful things we do on Daytona Beach.
Swanson and local businessman Charlie Lydecker will co-chair the event. Both were instrumental in convincing the USLA to select Daytona Beach for the national competition. Lydecker is a former Volusia County lifeguard and medalist in previous lifeguard competitions.
The United States National Lifeguard Association coming here with their national championships next year will give us something to work for, work towards, and I think it'll be the beginning of restoring the Volusia County Lifeguards Corps' long tradition of excellence. National champions have come out of this lifeguard corps.
Volusia County hosted the national championships in 1982, 1996 and 2004, and the World Life-Saving Championships in 2002. Tens of thousands of people were all aboard the new SunRail Central Florida commuter train service in just the first week of operation. SunRail is providing free service through May 16th with revenue service beginning May 19th. The free introductory service allows passengers to experience commuting on SunRail and become familiar with schedules and advantages before purchasing passes on May 19th. There are several ways commuters can purchase SunRail passes. Day passes are available for riders who travel less often but still want an alternative to driving in their personal vehicles. For travelers who plan to ride SunRail routinely, getting a reusable and reloadable plastic Sun card is a better way to go. Votran, Volusia County's public transportation agency, is providing feeder service to the SunRail station in DeBary. Votran General Manager Steve Scherer said 4 buses will transport riders to and from the station from 4:15 to 9 a.m. and 3:15 to 8:30 p.m. weekdays.
4 different options for commuters to come out, get on SunRail, take their daily commute, and get off of I-4. 2 of which travel from the DeLand area. One is an express route that stops at very limited number of stops between DeLand and the DeBary train station. And the other route from DeLand is a local route that's going to use the regular Votran bus stops along the way. So a couple options coming from DeLand. There was also 2 routes from the Daytona area. Again, one is an express route that will utilize a very limited number of stops between Daytona and the DeBary train station. And the other is a local route that will operate using all the Votran existing bus stops along the way.
Sun cards can be purchased from any ticket vending machine at all SunRail stations. They can be purchased on the internet or from an authorized retailer. For more information and to calculate your commuter costs, you can go to sunrail.com.
Many of the items you throw out are not biodegradable and take centuries to break down. Reduce, reuse, recycle are separate but interconnected ideas that minimizes waste and saves money. The process is simple. The best way to reduce waste is to avoid creating it. According to the EPA, on average, Americans each produce over 4 pounds of trash per day. To help reduce trash, switch from plastic to reusable bags. Next, reuse items destined to be discarded. Get creative in reusing trash to reduce waste and save money. Finally, recycling takes items from materials that are discarded and turns them into new products. For example, plastic bottles can be recycled into carpet and benches. Many communities make recycling easy by offering programs such as curbside pickup. Newspaper, plastic bottles, glass, and pop cans are all recyclable items. Reduce, reuse, recycle decreases the amount of waste people create. Help keep our earth clean. Make the choice to reduce, reuse, and recycle today.
For more information on Volusia County's recycling program, you can visit volusia.org and select recycling from the drop-down menu. The Florida Department of Health in Volusia County has created a new public health data resource designed to take a closer look at the health of our county. The Office of Informatics and Assessment will collect and present health data in a format that will aid community residents in becoming more aware of their health status and assist healthcare providers in understanding the health needs of Volusia County. In this segment of Community Health Matters, Stephanie Strong explains that this new report puts the spotlight directly on the health of our communities.
What's really happening in your neighborhood when it comes to health? Now, a new quarterly report produced by the Florida Department of Health in Volusia County has a better picture. It's called the Healthy Volusia Report.
The Healthy Volusia Report is a more granular, more refined look at the health status, the health problems in Volusia County. We have many reports that tell us what the health is in our community countywide, but we don't have any reports that actually show us individual communities, the quadrants of our county and their health burdens.
Obtaining county-specific health data is critical to monitoring disease and informing residents of their health. However, county-level data often masks community health issues at sub-county levels, as geographically and culturally diverse communities often experience disease differently.
We looked at the health problems in our community by quadrant. It stood out that the quadrant number 2, which is the northeast portion of our county, has more African Americans and has more deaths from diabetes, stroke, and heart disease than any of the other quadrants in our county.
According to the Healthy Volusia report, the infant mortality rate for African Americans in Health Quadrant 2 is 6.5, or 5 times higher than whites living in the same health quadrant. Knowing where disease occurs and where disparities in the prevalence of disease exist will aid public health and healthcare providers in better addressing the needs of the populations they serve and in attacking disease where interventions can have their greatest impact.
It was also interesting that the quadrant number 4, which is the southeast portion of our county, had the least number of hospitalizations due to strokes and diabetes and heart disease. So they tend to look a little more healthy.
Diabetes is ranked among the county's top 10 leading causes of death. The rate of diabetes diagnosed patients in Volusia County is 13.5 as compared to 10.4 for Florida. However, this represents only a portion of the issue. Mortality statistics alone understate the impact of diabetes, given the number of people unaware they are living with diabetes and other diabetes-related illnesses. To view the quarterly Healthy Volusia reports, please visit www.volusiahealth.com. For Volusia Magazine, I'm Stephanie Strong, Public Information Officer for the Florida Department of Health in Volusia County.
If you have any questions about this or any other health-related issues, you can always log on to volusiahealth.com. As we continue to prepare our yards for summer, Horticulture Today's Joe Sewards shows us some unique and unusual plants to help beautify your landscape while keeping it Florida-friendly.
Hi, I'm Joe Sewards, and this is Horticulture Today. Every gardener needs a passion, and every garden needs a signature plant. And today we're going to talk about some of the more unusual additions to the landscape here in Florida. We're going to talk about some of the bromeliads, some of the succulents, and some cacti that actually do grow well here in Florida's climate. With me today to talk about some of these more unusual and interesting plants that can be part of our landscapes here in Florida is Master Gardener Steve Provost. How are you today, Steve?
Fine, thanks.
You're more of an expert on these types of plants than I am, so I'd like for you to tell the folks about some of these really interesting plants.
Okay, well, I think probably one of the nice, interesting series of plants are some bromeliads, some agaves and aloes, and cactus that do grow well here in Central Florida. A good selection of bromeliads are the neoregelias, such as this type here. These grow, they're very cold tolerant. You don't have to worry about covering them in the winter. They grow well, they're easy to grow. They like a little shade, but you don't have to have them in deep shade. Another one is the types of echias with their nice bloom. This is the type that we are calling the gamma sepala, the plant. This is another type of bromeliad that grows well, and it has a nice red central part to it. Terrestrial bromeliad are dichias. These are a little thorny, so you have to be careful, but they make ground cover. Nice ground covers have bright orange blooms on them, and they bloom readily.
Steve, tell me again where these like to grow in the landscape. If somebody was to take some of these home, where would they plant them?
Okay, the bromeliads, most of the bromeliads like to be in partial shade. Don't have to be deep shade, but partial shade, not full sun. The dichia is an exception to that. This can grow in full sun.
And it might be interesting also for people to know that bromeliads are related to pineapples,
Well, that's
the
true.
pineapples that we eat.
That's true. Another group of plants that's an interesting plants are the agaves. People know them as the century plant, the great big one, but there's many smaller ones that only get to be about a foot in diameter, have nice shape, nice color to them, different forms. They're easy to grow. Again, they grow in full sun, and we don't have to worry about them. They're quite cold tolerant. Then a related family is the aloes, and then the lily family. Many aloes. People know aloe vera with the yellow bloom. There's an aloe vera with an orange bloom. Many different types of aloes. Again, most all the aloes are very cold tolerant, grow in full sun, have nice color, bloom at different times of the year, so you can have a good range of them. Other plants that we can grow here in Florida are some cactus, some of the large cactus, such as this type of cactus, which gets quite tall. It's a night blooming cactus. Of course, many of you know our native cactus plant with the big pads, the prickly pear, which has yellow blooms in the springtime. Another plant that we can grow here is an epiphytic cactus. It grows up in trees or on trees. It blooms at night, and it grows quite well here in Central Florida. So we have quite a range of plants that are a little different from the usual ones to make our landscaping interesting. So, Joe, any other questions?
Well, this is very fascinating. Like I say, Steve, you're more of an expert on these types of things than I am. And, you know, if you live near the sea or where it's really, really sunny, the cacti and the aloes are a good choice. If you want to have a specimen garden or just a plant collection part of your landscape, these would make fascinating conversation pieces in any sunny, well-drained landscape. And then, of course, if you have shadier areas, partially shaded areas, the bromeliads will do quite well there as well. Remember, adding specimen plants like these to your landscape, creating conversation pieces, the same rules apply as with other plants. It's all about right plant, right place, and then right care. For Horticulture Today, I'm Joe Sewards. Feel free to call us at the University of Florida Volusia County Extension Office, or you can visit our website as well. The phone number is area code 386-822-5778, or you can go to volusia.org/extension.
And join us next week when Joe continues his 9-part series on Florida-friendly landscaping. He will introduce us to the principle number 3, which is fertilization. Let's join Community Information Director Dave Byron and Connie Bernal, Manager for the UCF Business Incubator at DBIA, in the studio for an update on the Business Incubator.
Well, thanks, Amber, and hello, everyone. You know, the Volusia County Council has invested about $2 million in the county's first Business Incubator program at Daytona Beach International Airport. Operated by the University of Central Florida, it appears this money was well spent. The incubator is bustling with clients, and today we'll get an update on the county's Business Incubator program with our studio guest, Connie Bernal. She's the site manager at the UCF Business Incubator at Daytona Beach International Airport. Just to get started, for those people that don't know about the Business Incubator at Daytona Beach International Airport, give us a description of what a Business Incubator is.
A Business Incubator is a place for entrepreneurs to start or grow their companies. We offer several services and resources for them to become successful in the local economy. And we also offer educational seminars and workshops. We connect them with key people that will help them to get those ideas or those companies to the next level.
How many companies do you have out there now?
We have 17 companies. It's a variety, first stage companies, second stage companies. We have some companies that have been with us for more than a year.
Right.
Those companies are very successful right now. They're hatching, you know, they're hiring people, they're growing, they're buying buildings, which is one of the main goals of the incubation program. And we have the startups too.
Right. So my understanding of an incubator program, and as you just explained it, I guess you take companies of all varieties that are at least in the first stage of their operations, and your goal and their goal is to, I guess, get the training, get the resources, get the connections to grow to at least a second stage company, correct?
Yes. Actually, the main goal of a business incubator is to produce successful companies that are financial stable. You know, companies that will be big in the future, that don't have a problem to finding money or hiring people or growing their product line. That's kind of the main goal. The second goal of an incubator is to be an economic tool for counties or municipalities. Being, you know, an economic tool means that it's a place, it's a hub for all the entrepreneurs, business owners to meet, to learn more about how to run the business, how, you know, different practices that they don't know about it. So all that, everything that is around that makes them be successful.
Well, yeah, I think from the county's perspective, I mean, the idea being that, you know, you'd love to have, you know, these new companies that come in from all over the world and, you know, they create 2,000 to 3,000 jobs, but in reality, that doesn't happen very often. So what we're talking about here, I think from the county's point of view, is to help these local companies grow, thereby hire employees and create jobs. I mean, is that?
Yes. Yes, actually, it's very interesting what you just said. We have found that for a local economy is easier just to foster their local businesses and to help them grow rather than bringing big companies.
That's what I mean, yeah.
Yeah, because thing is, the local economies, they have been here forever. They have like second generation, third generation. They were born here. And they don't want to move, and they just want to continue here. So it's difficult for them to move their roots to another state, another country. So if they're successful, they're the ones who stay here, and in the future, they're the ones who help others to be successful. It's a legacy, which with these big companies, they will come 2 or 3 years, oh, it didn't work, bye. So all the investments sometimes is not worth it. You know, hopefully we have these big companies coming here and making all the things that we need. So, but I think it's good to grow companies.
Well, you used a terminology just a few minutes ago. You know, you've got these companies in there ready to hatch. So how do you know when a company is ready to hatch and ready to leave the nest? I mean, how do you do that? I suppose it varies.
Yeah, exactly. You know, for instance, let's start with a company that is new at the incubator. So the entrepreneur comes to the incubator and they say, well, I have this idea and I would like to start a company. We don't incubate ideas, we incubate companies. So we kind of help them to do the feasibility study, business plan, and little by little they grow that company. They first are pre-revenue, and then they develop all the branding strategy, marketing strategy, and there is a point that they become post-revenue. So some sales are happening. So the beauty of being an incubator is that they don't have to be worried about paying this big rent or big building. They just need an office in which they can have a professional setting to meet with the clients. We have the best incubator around Central Florida, and they feel proud to be able to meet with investors in a state-of-the-art conference room. So little by little they grow, they sell. If they want to expand to a second office, we're very flexible with that. They have another office, and if they need another office, okay, I need more office. But if they don't think that they can afford 3 offices, or they say, no, Connie, I don't think this is a good idea, I'm going to go back to 2 offices or 1 office. So they have that flexibility with the location. So when we see that these companies are growing and growing and selling, and when we see that they have like half of the incubator, half of the building, it's like when you say, oh, I think it's time for you to graduate or to fly by yourself. That's when we say that they hatch. It's like they're ready to go fly by themselves. They go and
let
buy.
go of mama, huh?
Exactly, and then they buy buildings. You know, the thing is that a successful incubator company, when they leave the incubator, they will not go and rent. They will go and buy a building.
Just give us a kind of a general rundown of some of the companies types that you have there.
We have a variety of companies. We have technology companies. That has been very interesting to see, because now 60% of the clients are technology companies.
Cool.
60, that's good.
Yeah.
Then we have the 30% are service-oriented companies, and 10% are health-related.
Oh, that's cool.
Yes, that's kind of the variety of the economy that we have here in Volusia County.
Well, Connie, if there are folks out there that want more information, maybe they want to get a hold of you or whatever, how do people get more information about the incubator?
It's always good to go to our website, www.incubator.ucf.edu. So they will know everything that we do for companies, the addresses and the phone number, and that's the way they can contact us.
Well, Connie, I want to thank you for sharing the information with us. I mean, this is obviously a very successful tool for Volusia County economic development. You guys are doing great over there, so thanks for being with us.
Thank you so much. Appreciate
Our guest today is Connie Bernal. She's the site manager at the Volusia County UCF Incubator at Daytona Beach International Airport. And with that, we'll go back to you, Amber.
Thanks, Dave, and thank you for tuning in to Volusia Magazine. If you have any questions about the show, you can simply give us a call at any of the numbers you see listed here, or you can log on to volusia.org and click on the News tab at the top of the screen to find us. You can use volusia.org to find out about Volusia County Council's meeting calendar. In fact, you can use volusia.org to find out about meeting dates, workshops, topics of interest, activities, and how you can become involved. And we hope you won't forget to listen to Volusia Today. That's Volusia County's public radio broadcast. Volusia Today airs every Tuesday and Sunday mornings on the local radio stations you see on your screen. For Volusia Magazine, I'm Amber Patterson. Have a good evening.